Hello guys, so now proceeding to this next video now. So there might in your as at 100 200 level, most institution like federal institution, it is there possibility is very high that most of the exams is going to be CBT. Most is going to be CBT. So when you are doing courses like MTS 101, 105, 102, or I don't know, some schools use code as MAT, that's math, some use MTH. Okay, so in those aspects, so you should be familiar, yourself with all these definitions because nobody will ask you there in theory, you just come out in your OBJ. So you should know the difference between these things listed here. So possible objective questions. What are whole numbers, odd numbers, even numbers, prime numbers, integers, set of natural numbers, set of rational numbers, set of irrational numbers, complex numbers, and real numbers. Know all this because it definitely comes out in your video. So let's read it together. So solution. What's our whole number? Say it. So whole number are non-negative integers. You understand? They are your non-negative integers including E0. It is noted by W. You understand? They are your non-negative integers including E0. So you have from 0 to infinity. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to any point. So you cannot write the whole number. So that's why I just have to put a comma and dot dot dot. So non-negative integers. Non-negative integers including E0. If you are going to add E0, so E0 will start it. So these are what we call your whole numbers. In case you come across it in your question. Now what are odd numbers? Odd numbers are integers that are not divisible by 2. So integers that are not divisible by 2 is what we call our odd number. It is denoted by O. So examples are 1, 3, 5. Sorry, there's a mistake here. 1, 3, 5, 7. So all these ones are not divisible by, they are not divisible by what's it called 2. You cannot be divided. So if numbers that if you divide them by 2, you will definitely have remainders. They are the one you call your odd number. They are not divisible like that. That is, they cannot be divided by 2 at all. Numbers that cannot be divided by 2 at all is what we call odd numbers. Alright, down to even numbers. Even numbers are integers that are divisible by 2. So integers that are divisible by 2 are what we call our even number. So now look at these integers here. These are the examples of the integers that are divisible by 2. So when they say something is divisible by 2, it means that by the time you divide it by 2, there must not be a remainder. So is 0 divided by 2, you get is 0. You understand? So there's no remainder. So let you get something. There's different thing when you say is 0 divided by a constant. Let me use a constant. Don't let me use number. You can use number, you can use a constant. If 0 divided by any constant is 0. Any constant divided by 0 is always infinity. So note that word. If 0 divided by any number is 0. Any number divided by or any number divided by 0 is infinity. This is the symbol for infinity. So please make sure you get that clear. So it's very important. If I have 0 divided by 1 is 0. 1 divided by 0 is infinity. By the time you check it in your calculator, it will be in syntax error or math error. Those things stand for infinity because you can't find the symbol inside the calculator. You can't program it. That's how you have to be exposed to it. That any number or any constant divided by 0 is infinity or undivided. Alright. So even numbers are integers that are divisible by 2. That is, integers that can be divided by 2. There will not be remainder. That's what we call integer. 2 divided by 2, no remainder. We divide this one by 2, 4 divided by 2, no remainder. 6 divided by 2, you can never have a remainder. To give you straight to the answer. Now, prime numbers. Prime numbers are positive number. Positive, okay. Let me just use positive number. Prime number are positive number greater than 1 that have exactly 2 distinct positive divisors. You understand? So what they are trying to say is that prime numbers are numbers divisible by 1 and itself. So numbers that are divisible by 1 and itself, that is number that can be divided by 1. That it is only 1 that can go in it, and it is only that number itself that can divide itself. No number in this world can divide that number. For instance, so you can see the examples. We have this is the symbol for prime numbers. The example of prime number is 2, 3, 5, 7. If you look at 3, 2 cannot go in 3. Only 1 can go in it, and 3 can go in it. Look at 7. If you try 2, it cannot go. If you divide it by 2, it cannot go. There will be a remainder. If you try 3, it cannot go. If you try 4, it cannot go. If you try 5, it cannot go. It is only one and itself that it can be divided by, that you will not have a remainder. So that is what we call a prime number. So you can think of several numbers like that after 11. Alright. So integers, what are integers? Integers are whole numbers, either positive or negative or 0. So you know what whole number is, so there's no point going back. So because we say our whole number is a non-zero integer, including 0. So integers are whole numbers, either positive or negative or 0. It is denoted by z, this kind of z. So this is the symbol for integers. So this, look at an example of this, that is positive or negative numbers. So that is -3, no, -1, 1. This is the positive, negative of 1. This is the positive of 1. This is negative of 2. This is positive of 2. Negative of 3. So negative is continuous to infinity, and positive is continuous to infinity. So that's how we are putting dot dot dot, because we don't know where we are coming from. So you have to start with dot 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 and end with dot dot dot, because the number is so massive and much. 0 is not of 2. We don't have negative 0. So it is just 1 0 positive. Alright. So this one now, Roman figure 6, set of natural numbers. What are set of natural numbers? Is the set of all positive integers. The set of all positive integers is what we call set of natural numbers. Set, integers are used to have negative and positive. So then I say the set of all the positive is what we call what? Our natural numbers. So don't go and add the 0. 0 is not a natural number. So all your natural numbers begins from 1 and above. Positive, no negative numbers. Alright, so then this is the symbol for set of natural numbers. Now set of rational. Now this is the rational. Set of rational. It is the set of all numbers that can be expressed as a ratio of 2 integers. You can pick any 2 integers together. Pick any 2 integers together. I can pick 5 and 2. 5 divided by 2. 5 is an integer, 2 is an integer. Divide them by themselves. It's like ratio of 2 integers is what we call rational number. So I can pick 1 over 2. I can pick 5 over 2. I can pick 3 over 7. I can pick anything. So don't pick the one that will give you. Don't pick the one that will give you direct answer. Like don't go and pick. Don't tell me that 4 divided by 2 is a rational number. No, it is wrong, because you know that 4 divided by 2 is not a fraction. It's a single number. It's not going to give you a decimal fraction. So the one that you know that it will give you a decimal number, long decimal number at the end of the day, is what you should classify as your rational number. That is set of 2 integers. You can think of any integer. It's not a must that it's not specified. It's not particular. So you know what your integers is. Just pick any positive one among it and just bring it out. Alright. So 1 is an integer, 2 is an integer. So 1 divided by 2. So this is a ratio. Like if I write 1 ratio 2. So set or expressed as the ratio of 2 integers. 1 ratio 2 is the same thing as 1 divided by 2. 3 ratio 4 is the same thing as 3 over 4. So that's what we call our set ratio of 2 integers. You give me a fraction form. That's why the written is like this. Oof, God of mercy. Alright, so this is the symbol for rational number, this cube. So in mathematical form, we are told to define rational number. They might not ask you in this story format in your exam question. They can just write it like this, that which of this is correct about this. I can give you options. I can give you option that which of this is correct about this. I should not write this expression out. So you now pick the suitable option in the option, whether it's rational or this thing. So mathematically, this is how you can define a rational number. Mathematically, you don't want to use all this story. So mathematically, in case you come across it in OBJ, so you should know that this is a rational number in this expression format. So now a rational number now. What are set of rational number? Set of rational number is a set of all numbers that cannot be expressed as a ratio of 2 integers. They are word and opposite. These one are numbers that this one are the set of all numbers that can be represented as ratio of 2 integers. But this one is the opposite of it. That is, this one is a set of all numbers that cannot be expressed as ratio of each other. You can never express them as ratio. Look at, it cannot be expressed as ratio of Caesar. So look at pi now. So can you turn this pi to ratio? You can't. You understand? You cannot turn it to ratio, because if you press pi in your calculator, the number is very, very long, and its continuity is very long. So you cannot know where, you can never know where the number, like the number is very long. Before you say you want to be setting it up to give you a ratio, it's a long journey. So you cannot, it's very difficult for you to. And this one as well is exponential. Exponential is a very long value. It's a long value, so you cannot even express it. If not that you already know the value. This one we already know the value from the origination. So that's why we know what this one will give us. But this one you don't even know the value, exact value. So if you press it on your calculator, exponential is very long, so you cannot even express it as ratio of integer, because it has to pass through fraction before you be able to express it as ratio. This one too is very long, so or things you know that is not even possible. You understand? So that's just set of irrational number. So the symbol is I, it's denoted by I. In mathematical form, how do you define a rational number? So I into curly bracket x, such that x is not a member of rational number. So this is the expression in mathematical form. So number 10, number 9, complex numbers. Complex numbers are numbers that can be expressed in the form a plus bi. So whenever you see numbers that are in this form, they are called complex number having I. You understand? Where a and b are real numbers and I is an imaginary number. So imaginary units. This I here is called an imaginary unit, but this a and b here, they are called real numbers. You understand? So, and this is in mathematical form. This is how you can define a complex number. C equals into bracket a plus bi, such that a comma b is a member of real number. You understand? This is the mathematical expression for a complex number. It is denoted by C, e.g. So you see example. You can even form example. I can have 5 plus 7i. I can have 6 plus 12i. I can have 21 plus 77i, or 71 minus 102i. Anything so far there is presence of I, there is a complex number. Alright, there is no space to occupy the last one. So now these real numbers, they are numbers that can be expressed as a decimal expansion. The number that can be expressed as a decimal what? As a decimal expansion, including rational and irrational numbers. So these numbers, they can be expressed as a expansion of decimal. They also include rational and irrational numbers. You can see the examples. So where are rational numbers? These ones are irrational numbers here. Is that clear? So, and it also include rational numbers. So, and these are the expansions of what we are talking about. So please master this one. Oh, I'm exhausted, Jesus. So so you guys should master this. Make sure you know it very well. Know this mathematical expression for these definitions if you don't want to go in this story format. In case you never can tell the format with which your question will come, so it is advisable you master these definitions very well. Know them very well. God bless you. I think this video has been so helpful to you. If it's helpful, please give me a thumb up, like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Elites continue giving you the best and the best. Thank you. Love you guys.